Holy shit, is this one of the best shows of all time. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here saying this. Like, this is like the series of the year. Hi, welcome back. So, a couple things before we start. First of all, my very requested We Are Who We Are wrap-up video will be coming next Tuesday, so the upcoming Tuesday of when you see this video. I really want to try and keep doing We Are Who We Are Tuesdays for a while because I've been uploading the episode commentaries on Tuesdays and I had a handful of We Are Who We Are like themed videos in mind, so I figured we would kind of keep the momentum going. If you missed it, the recording of the Candid Conversations live that I did with Jordan and a bunch of other guests went up the previous Tuesday of when this is being uploaded. Also did the episode 8 commentary with Jordan and Francesca, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And then if you're not subscribed to my second channel, you should definitely go do that. I have 2 videos up there right now. I did a commentary on Coraline, and then I played Among Us with my group chat, including Jordan and Chloe. So you should definitely go check that out. Anyway, we're here today to talk about October recap. I only watched like a handful of things this month, but some of them I'm very excited to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. So like I said, we are doing a whole video on that. However, I have it here in A right now in this spot, and I am moving it up. It is definitely in my top 5 of the year. If you're new to these recaps, this is all the new stuff that I watched this year. So the stuff on this ranking list didn't necessarily come out in 2020. I just watched it for the first time in 2020. But We Are Who We Are is definitely in my top 10 like 2020 releases. Things like Big Little Lies, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, like things in this top ranking didn't come out this year. These top 3 at the moment did. I am actually going to move it to the number 4 spot. I feel like everything in this top A row is like so close, and I love them all so much. And maybe adding a couple new things from this month to this row. So anyway, We Are Who We Are is getting moved up now that the show is over. Last time I put it in this ranking, we'd only seen the first 3 episodes. So yeah, anyway, I have an entire playlist of We Are Who We Are videos. It's the best thing ever. We know that. Okay, Bly Manor, The Haunting of Bly Manor. I have been waiting on the edge of my seat for this since 2018. The Haunting of Hill House is one of my favorite miniseries of all time. I did rewatch it this past month with my parents because my dad hadn't seen it, and it was my favorite viewing of the season. I don't know why. I know it's like, if you guys are the kind of people who like watch things or who like rewatch things a lot, you probably have like a favorite viewing where it's like the time you watched it where like it resonated the most with you, I guess, and that was the time that it did. I love The Haunting of Hill House, so we viewed that after watching the Bly Manor, which is not as good as Haunting of Hill House. I'm just gonna say that up front, but I feel like I am very biased because I just feel like The Haunting of Hill House is like unbeatable. Like, it's just how can you top episode 6 of Haunting of Hill House? Episode 6 of Haunting of Hill House is one of the greatest episodes of television ever made. Like, how can you top that? You can't. So I feel like it's unfair to compare them. I loved Bly Manor. Okay, so I was very familiar with the source material of Bly Manor, unlike I was with Hill House. I still have not read The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I'm familiar with Shirley Jackson and some of her works, but I have not read the book. I really want to. I had read The Turn of the Screw, and I had seen The Turning, which was the movie that Finn Wolfhard was in. So I knew about the source material. It was definitely a lot closer to the source material than what I've heard about Hill House. But I really liked it. I really liked how he kept with the character-specific episodes. Like, I liked how we had the sort of an episode centered around each character like we did with Hill House. Danny and Jamie. I was not going into Haunting of Bly Manor expecting one of the greatest lesbian love stories of the year. Vanya and Sissy, Danny and Jamie, they own 2020, period. Wow. Their whole little montage at the end of the season of like them just sort of like living their life and like their engagement, although I literally was in tears. My parents were like, I was sobbing. It was beautiful. I love Victoria Pedretti. Seen her in both seasons of Haunting and in You. Love her. I think she's so incredibly talented. I think the show was very scary at the beginning. Like, I think Hill House is pretty scary, but overall it's like more sort of character story centric, as was Bly. I thought it was really scary at the beginning with the whole thing with it was Eddie, right? Like the mirror dude. If you haven't seen The show, yeah, that whole thing was really, really creepy, and I loved it. I just loved the whole aesthetic. I liked how Flora and Miles had a really big role. I consistently, when I was watching this, I was just thinking I would have loved to see Finn and Brooklyn do this, because I feel like Finn and Brooklyn were both amazing in The Turning. Like, they were the highlights of that movie, even though that movie sort of fell short, and I would have loved to see them be able to do, like, the amount of material that these kids were given in Bly. Like, not saying that I didn't like the kids in Bly, like, I wish we could have seen both of those pairs of kids do this much material, because I feel like Flora especially was given a lot to do. I love the characterization that they did with Miles and Peter. The whole Peter thing was so, like, fleshed out. I just feel like they really took an incredibly, abysmally boring book that had, like, no plot and made it into something super interesting, which I loved. I loved the whole thing with the dolls. I thought that was really cool. Love seeing my girl Kate Siegel in episode 8. I was waiting for her to show up. It was just, I don't know, I just thought it was a lovely season. It was definitely worth the wait. I cannot wait to find out what the next book is, because if you're unaware, like, The Haunting is an anthology series. Each season is going to be based off of a different classic horror novel. So the first one was The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Second one was Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Great. I cannot wait to find out what the next book is, so then I can sort of prepare myself and do some research before we get more, I can't wait to find out what he's going to do next. Mike Flanagan is an absolute mastermind. He's a brilliant, brilliant director, writer. I've loved every single thing I've ever seen of his, so I really can't wait to see what else is in store, and I'm super excited. So with that being said, I think Haunting of Bly Manor is definitely an A. It's so hard to rank things in this A category. Like, do I like it more than Defending Jacob? Like, I guess so, yes. Hamilton is such a tough thing to have in this category, because, like, I was so familiar with Hamilton before. So do I like it more than Euphoria? I don't know. I'm gonna put it here. I don't know, man. Take this ranking with a grain of salt. This was such a mistake doing it in actual order, because I'm just constantly second-guessing myself. Okay, so I watched Julian the Phantoms. Like, I feel like Julian the Phantoms was a millennia ago. Like, I can't believe that was last month that I watched it. Like, I feel like that was a really long time ago that, like, Julian the Phantoms was in its prime. Everybody was asking me if I had seen this. Everybody was watching it. I didn't know anything about it going into it. I just saw that everybody was watching it. Everybody on TikTok was really obsessed with it. So I was like, okay, it's, like, really short. I'll go watch it. So basically, it's a very Disney Channel-esque show, because it's made by a lot of people from Disney Channel, like Kenny Ortega, but it's a Netflix original. I had heard about it because Jeremy Shadow was in it, and, like, subtle flex, I worked for him a couple of years ago. I think he's great. So I was like, oh cool, Jeremy's got a new thing, let me go check it out. So basically, if you're unaware, it's about this girl, and she befriends these ghosts of these rock stars that end up in her life, and they make a ghost band. Here's the thing, okay? So, like, I haven't been in, like, the Disney Channel realm for years. I watch Kate Loves Disney, which, if you're into Disney Channel to any regard, you should watch her channel. She's awesome. This show was, like, nothing special to me. Like, I didn't see it as, like, the sort of cult classic that, like, everyone's kind of painting it as. I didn't think it was anything, like, super different. I didn't really see, like, the appeal as, like, an adult that a lot of other adults. I thought it was really lovely. I thought it was really well done. I think it's a very good kids show. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad. It's not bad by any means. I just was just like, okay, like, that was fine. The soundtrack, oh my god, I really like Unsaid Emily. So original. What is it? Flying Solo, those are bops. I listen to those a lot. Also, the Cheyenne Jackson songs, because he's a legend. But yeah, I don't know, like, I like the concept. I thought it was really cute. You know, it had its cringy lines and cringy delivery at times, because it's, like, a Disney Channel-esque thing for kids, but, like, I think it's a really good show for kids, and I think if you're a young person, you would love this, because I think it's pretty solid. I will probably watch the second season if it comes out. I like a good musical. And so, like, I was here for it. I love having a young girl of color as the lead. That's just always amazing to see. She can, and damn can she sing. Oh my god, she can sing. Madison Ray, something like that. I follow her on Instagram. I think she's great. We love age-appropriate casting. We also love casting young girls of color as leads. Wow, we love to see it. So yeah, I don't know. Julian the Phantoms was like a solid C for me. Like I just, like, it wasn't like, I wouldn't rewatch it. It wasn't like out of this world for me, but like it was fine. I enjoyed it. I would probably put it like here, to be honest. So like at the top of C. I don't know. Okay, The Witches. So The Witches was an HBO Max original movie that came out this month, and I loved this book as a kid. I was obsessed with this book as a kid. This book was so scary to me as a kid, and I loved it. I had seen the original movie a long time ago, the one with Angelica Houston. I don't really remember it, so I can't really compare this movie to that. It has also been a millennia since I read the book. It's been at least 10 years. But this book meant a lot to me in my childhood. So when I found out they were doing a movie of this, and Anne Hathaway was going to be in it, she was going to be the grand head witch, whatever, I was very excited. So I watched it on launch day. And like, in the same sort of realm as Julian the Phantoms, I think it's a solid children's movie. I don't think it's anything out of this world. However, there are two scenes in my mind that really stick out to me that I remember from reading this book. And that is the scene where in the auditorium, like the witch council, when the kid is hiding and watching them have their meeting. Very substantial scene in my head. And also the scene where the grandmother is lowering him onto the balcony to go into the witch. Literally couldn't even tell you why he was going into the witch's hotel room, and I watched this movie like 2 weeks ago. But when he's in the little basket and she's lowering him on the balcony. Those two scenes were so good, and that's all that matters to me. Especially like the council. Like, cause I just remember that scene being so scary. Like, I just remember the suspense and like knowing the kid was stuck in there and he couldn't get out, and if they found he was there, they were gonna turn him into a mouse. And like, it was so well done. The whole sequence of her being like, take off your shoes, take off your gloves, take off your wigs, like, is exactly how I envisioned it as a kid, and that just meant a lot to me. So for that, I really enjoyed it. The rest of the movie is kind of forgettable, I think also, like, the balcony scene also I think was done really well because it's a very suspenseful scene. I really like how they kept the ending, because the ending's a bit dark, and I really would have thought they would change it. Like, it's Roald Dahl, his stuff is inherently very creepy, and his endings are always really depressing, like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all the kids died. But we're not going to get into that, but they did keep the ending, which is really surprising, and I really appreciated that. Gotta call out the narration. The narration was really fucking annoying. I'm just such a stickler with narration. If you want to hear me talk about narration and when it does and doesn't work in film, go watch my Enola Holmes video. It was just, I just didn't like the tone of the narration. I feel like it didn't fit. I feel like a lot of it was unnecessary, which is where narration always falls flat. Obviously, it's a children's book. You're going to have some form of narration. I don't remember if there was any in the original movie. I really don't remember the original movie. Yeah, so like it was okay. I thought the special effects were awesome. Like what they did with the teeth, and like it was not like the burning, but like when the witch's skin was like bubbling, I thought, like, it looked fabulous. So, like, this movie definitely had a lot of things really going for it, and then the rest of it was just kind of a bit boring and mediocre. So it's just sort of like it's a really weird contrast. Okay, I'm gonna put it at the very top of C right here, because I really do, like, that, like, there were, the certain things that I thought were really, really good. So I don't always talk about reality shows when I do these recaps, and I don't rank them because I feel like it's not fair, because reality shows are something, you don't watch reality shows for quality, ever. So I feel like, I think the last time I talked about a reality show was Selling Sunset. I actually did rank Selling Sunset, so I'm a hypocrite. But the last reality show that I talked about that I didn't rank, I think, was Peter's season of The Bachelor. The fucking Bachelorette. Oh my god, this season is a fucking disaster. Claire is insane. If you're somehow not in the Bachelor realm, we have this new Bachelorette. She's 39, so she's supposedly like the oldest, most mature Bachelorette. She's ready for marriage. She knows what she wants. Sis got engaged to a guy after 3 episodes, and now they're bringing in my girl Tayshia. I am psyched for a season with Tayshia, but we should have had Tayshia from the start, because goddamn was that just mind-numbing to watch the last 3 3 weeks of Claire being a fucking disaster. So I just wanted to update y'all that I am watching The Bachelorette, because the Bachelor franchise is my guilty pleasure. I just find them so entertaining. I think they're so funny. I think it's so funny when people go on these shows actually expecting to be taken seriously and, like, actually expecting to find a lifelong relationship, because it's like, the success rate of these shows is, like, next to nothing. So I just find them incredibly entertaining. If you're wondering, Paradise is my favorite. I think Paradise is comedy gold. So yeah, Bachelorette. Jesus Christ, I lost brain cells watching those first 3 weeks. Anyway. Okay, and the last thing we were talking about today, I am so fucking excited to talk about. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting about this show so much on Instagram. We need to talk about, y'all, we need to discuss The Queen's Gambit. Oh my god, everybody sit down for a second. Okay, so The Queen's Gambit is this new miniseries that came out on Netflix this month, starring my girl, Anya Taylor-Joy. I love her. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. She is, like, one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. I frankly fan cast her as every single one of my OCs. She's just so talented. I adore her. So she was in this new show on Netflix called The Queen's Gambit. Me and my mom watched it. Holy shit, is this one of the best shows of all time. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here saying this. Like, this is like the series of the year. Like, okay, so basically it's about this, it's not based on a true story, but it's like a period piece. It takes place in the 60s. It's about this girl named Beth Harmon. She grows up in an orphanage. She discovers that she is basically a chess prodigy. She's brilliant at chess, and she just is basically on this journey to become the best chess player in the entire world. I promise you, if you end 2020 without having seen this show, this year has been worthless. Like, this year is worthless anyways, right? Because of everything that's happened. But, like, you cannot proceed into 2021 without having seen The Queen's Gambit, because this is television. Like, this is, oh my god. So it's like 8 episodes. It's fucking brilliant. Everything about it is brilliant. The writing is brilliant. The cinematography, the acting is incredible. Thomas Brody Sangster is in this. Oh my god. Tell me why I am a Thomas Brody Sangster simp once again in 2020. That is tragic. If you would ask Maze Runner stan me in 2014, would I still be a Thomas Brody Sangster simp in 20... Actually, she probably would... I probably would have said yes, to be honest. But wow, the talent is astronomical. Everything about this show is perfect. I literally have no critiques. Oh my god. But on a serious note, like, I know nothing about chess. I learned how to play as a child. I feel like everyone kind of did. But, like, I know nothing about chess. And this show was riveting. Absolutely riveting. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Oh my god. I love how it focuses on a female in a male-dominated sport where all the men are respectful. Oh my, if you want a bunch of respectful-ass men, watch this show. Because it's incredible. That's what made me know it wasn't a true story, because all these men are so respectful to this woman who is killing this sport, who is beating all of their asses, who is throwing them to the curb with her talent. It's incredible. I also love how it's a prodigy trope, but she really works for everything. Like, the fact that she just has this God-given talent isn't enough. I think that's great. Like, she's really studious and intelligent and confident. She's such an incredible character. Everything about the show is just 10... I literally could not recommend this show anymore. It's just the best thing ever. It really is. That being said, this is going to be the hardest thing I've ever ranked. Because, like, is it my number one? Oh, like, is it my number? Am I putting it above Sex Ed? Am I putting it above I'm Not Okay With This, Umbrella Academy, and We Are Who We Are? Because that's, like, my solid top 4 right now. I just think, like, because this is it's just so hard to rank these things, because it's like, am I judging it off of enjoyment or off of quality? And I feel like I'm not consistent. But I feel like off of quality alone, this is the best show I have seen this year. So with that being said, I have to put it at number 1. That might change. I really don't want y'all to think that, like, I like it better than We Are Who We Are or Umbrella Academy or I'm Not Okay With It, because it's not that simple. It's not that easy. But I feel like any other spot would just be blasphemous. Because it's the Queen's Gambit. Wow. Okay, so that was all I had this month. Like I said, not that many things, but definitely things where I had a lot of opinions on. So this is probably going to be a bit of a long video because I feel like I did talk a lot about each of these. What did you watch this month? Let me know. Give me some recommendations, things to add to my list. I have been watching The Undoing on HBO, so I will talk about that next month because I started that in November. I'm filming this right now on November 9th. So anyway, comment, like, and subscribe. Press the notification bell because I don't have an uploading schedule. Links in the description to subscribe to my second channel. Please do that. I would really appreciate it. Also follow me on social media, edward.spaghedward on Instagram and TikTok. Follow the pennies at the pennygram. My merch and my website and all that stuff is also in the description, as well as links where you can help with Black Lives Matter. Anyway, this has been a really great dinner. Thanks for coming over.